The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, the amusement industry, and everything to do with fun. Here are your hosts, Carsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Hey, and we are back with another amazing, crazy episode on the Rundown on Fun, the podcast for all of your Six Flags and Cedar Point news. I tried to be a little better than...
That wasn't it.
Tried to be a little better than Kyle, but Kyle's just the OG. So
the Six Flags Entertainment Company and everything to do with fun. There you go.
There you go. It's just a mouthful, and I don't want to be exactly like Kyle. But anyway, so unfortunately, Kyle's missing. He's got kind of like a little tease. He's got a little epic stuff going on. An
epic thing that he may or may not be able to talk about.
We'll be able to find out more. We will have an episode next week.
Not next week, week after.
Or the week after?
The week after is after his epic excursion to Epic Land.
Oh yeah. So anyway, I don't know. It's been
I don't know.
It's been a week. We'll see. It's the off season, so we're just trying to grab at straws and try to keep everybody kind of like.
Hey, it's only the off season for, well, really, if you count Kings Island, like only about another month. So we're getting there.
It's starting to get a little bit warmer. The Ohio weather is like 50s and 60 degrees.
We're getting thunderstorms and tornadoes this weekend. So,
It wouldn't be Ohio. Yeah, right. I think we had like over 100 some tornadoes or whatever last year.
Yeah, they were all in like April.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, hey, by the way, nothing's going to happen after that. Anywho, speaking of nothing crazy happening, there's not a whole lot of news going on at the park right now. Per se, except for some things that we did find on Cedar Point's website. And Evan, I know that you were super excited and completely was like, oh my gosh, check this out, dude. You want to talk about what the park released on their online store that people can buy literally right now?
So normally we lead off with Siren's Curse update. Well, there is none.
They did release what is it?
Weird ASMR video, but whatever.
I thought it was cool. I'm not gonna lie.
They didn't show any like track or anything, but whatever. That could have been taken in like October for all.
Yeah, right.
No, anyways. So the only bit of real news that came from Siren's Curse this week is that Siren's Curse's Made to Thrill poster came out, which if you don't know Made to Thrill, they are a third-party company that pretty much all the parks work with, like all of them work with. Yeah. They commission posters, magnets, patches, t-shirts with really cool animated designs. They aren't AI or anything. They look really, really cool. I don't know the name of the people that run Made to Thrill, but they do a phenomenal job.
Yes.
And Cedar Point's worked with them for quite a few years now. And as expected, they just released actually, I was kind of expecting it more on opening day, but just kind of out of nowhere on Cedar Point's online marketplace, they did show off, put on sale for the first time, the Siren's Curse Made to Thrill poster. It kind of doesn't really do it justice to explain it, but I don't know. Go to Cedar Point's website, check it out for yourself. Look at all the other awesome stuff that they've done. Look at Kings Island. Look at Six Flags Great America has them. They do awesome stuff, but the Siren's Curse one might be my favorite.
Oh my goodness.
Not even recency bias. Like, it looks so good.
It looks really good. And I really like that they used like a Cedar Point old school logo for it on the bottom and stuff, which is really cool. And it just is very immersive and very themed out. And wow, does it look
very pretty.
It's very fire.
This artwork, like I always say about Made to Thrill, a lot of roller coaster stuff is too dorky to ever display in your home. It's disgustingly dorky, and you want to separate yourself from that a little bit most of the time. Made to Thrill, I wouldn't have a problem hanging up in my home.
Yeah.
It's very it's as classy as amusement park stuff can get. Mm-hmm. It's very artistic. It's it's the same as hanging up some random painting in your home, but it just happens to have a roller coaster on it. Like it's super high quality.
And it's
stuff.
not like
I love it
crazy.
so much.
And it's not like crazy in your face, like, oh,
It's not like they list all the stats of the coaster, and it's
and
just
I mean, there's posters that are out there, then go for it. But like, it looks really, really sexy in a nice, really, very minimal frame that I like to put on. I like the very zero edge frame and stuff and everything, to where it just looks like a poster just chilling on the wall. It looks really, really, really cool.
But they have two Top Thrill 2 ones.
Nice. Okay.
God, they have.
I believe if anyone went to Coaster Mania last year, I believe that they were the designers of.
Yes, they were.
Of the Top Thrill 2 Coaster Mania poster, and then I believe the one that they also gave out to Media Day, and also for the First Rider auction thing that they or First Rider benefit. I believe that was also made to Thrill as well, which like you can see the really cool artwork, and like Evan said, it's not dorky or things like that. So,
man, they have Made to Thrill's website still selling the Top Thrill Dragster one.
Nice. So there you go. I was going to say,
you even have old rides. Like
I was going to say before they had a contract, I guess you could say, with the parks, Cedar Fair Parks and whatever, they used to have like posters where it would look like the ride, but it wouldn't say the ride.
It would just say like inverted coaster, Sandusky, Ohio.
And they also have really cool ones of like the ride layout stuff too. Like that's pretty cool. At least I think, unless I'm
awesome stuff.
Am I thinking of maybe another company? But
I think you are, but still, I just go look at their stuff.
Yeah, go check it out. Go buy a poster, because it looks phenomenal. And at least currently, right now, what we're at, we're recording on a Wednesday night behind the curtain, and we've got how many days? 52 days until
you would know better than I would.
Yeah, right.
Does the countdown every day.
I do, yeah. So shout out to myself for making those countdowns, because I try to make them unique, and I try to also make them like not as just coasters, and try to make thrill rides and, maybe some kiddie rides and some coasters, and just not just all coasters and same photo kind of thing every single year. So it's fun sometimes.
Sorry, I was like not really paying that much attention. I'm just scrolling through all the Made to Thrill posters on the Cedar Fair website.
That's all good. There's a lot.
God, there's so many I want. I have so many already. I have a lot from Holiday World too. Those are really nice. Man, all right. Anyways, so that's the Siren's Curse update for the week.
Yeah. So here's another thing that you can also put a lot of money into. They did release a little
more than a poster.
Just a little bit. They released some information on their website. Again, we were poking around. The Sunrise Thrill VIP tours are back for this year, and it lists that. I'll just read a little bit from it. If you want to go on Cedar Point's website, go check out VIP tours. You'll see all the information and stuff. But the package includes a behind-the-scenes look at Valraven, Siren's Curse, Millennium
early
Force,
summer 2025,
right? Millennium Force, Rougarou, and Top Thrill 2. And it also includes immediate boarding on Siren's Curse, opening
early summer.
And hang on, Top Thrill 2. Ooh. So
opening May 3rd, 2025.
Oh, they actually spelled single wrong.
Oops.
Oopsies. It says single use fast lane vouchers, a Fun Picks photo pass, breakfast, and a single meal deal, and preferred parking. Park admissions is definitely required. It's not included. So make sure you have a season pass or a ticket or something like that. But what's
Synology used those fast lane vouchers? Sorry, I had to go look at that for myself.
Oh, you're good. By the way, the Sunrise Tour, I didn't even get to say, you go on top of Valraven and you get to go. Evan, you've done it. I've done it. You ride the lift elevator up, and you go check out, and you get to see a once in a lifetime photo opportunity, and you get to see the sun, pretty much the sunrise, when the park does. This is super early in the morning. There is a requirement of you must be 52 inches tall and at least 18 years of age to or you must be with an adult. And then also minimum of 2 guests are required to purchase to participate.
Man, can't be single, I guess.
So, I mean, yeah, you can have a friend, but then, but the thing is like that the reason they say that is because when you go and buy the ticket, you're like, whoa, it's $249 for the ticket, which it's not bad, it's not a,
You do kind of, I mean, you get
a lot of perks.
It's a good opportunity.
You get a lot of perks, and so when you go and buy the ticket, the Sunrise Tour, you can pick from the days and the dates. I know that we've talked about this before. We're just reading some tea leaves, right? It says that it's including Siren's Curse behind the scenes and also first ride kind of like of the day. So the first tour starts May 25th. I'm not saying, I'm just thinking out loud and reading the tea leaves. Maybe that's possibly when Siren's Curse-ish might open, I don't know. So it is also,
they could also just say, hey, if these first couple of weekends, it said online that includes Siren's Curse, but well, we're just going to give you behind the scenes tour. It's not ready yet. Okay, bye.
Right. I mean, they could do that, or this just could be just a placeholder and we're just thinking too much into it. And really, they're just like, that's where we
could go
both
ways.
Anyway. So, it's just something to think about. And you're like, so, and then also, it does intrigue me that they, this is brand new information that was released, because, the spelling's all messed up. And, it does talk about Top Thrill 2, like being open. So that's another tea leaf to read too. I mean, there's not much to tea, but they've said that the ride's going to open on opening day. So
I, for no other reason besides good vibes, say that Top Thrill 2 will be open on opening day. Weather permitting. We'll say weather permitting, but I think Top Thrill 2 is ready to roll.
Yeah. I mean,
but we'll see. And if not, Tony, you're a dirty liar.
Well, it's not really Tony's fault. I mean, there could be, they could test it. Something could pop
Coaster
up
enthusiasts seem to think that he is the word of God. And if he says something is happening.
I know, right? I mean, he's trying his best and you can only do, so much of that. So it's like, A for effort for that. And,
But Tony ain't lying. First off, he's just saying the information he has. But I do truly think that Zamperla finally got it right. Finally.
Yeah. I guess
we're going to be ready to roll.
I guess we will see.
Speaking of ready to roll,
I was going to say, hang on a second.
Come on.
Sorry. But I was going to say it is $249 for the VIP package, and it automatically adds 2 to your cart. That's why you have to have a person with you, unless you just want to buy 2 and pay
if you really want to go alone, you have to spend $500.
Yeah, pay $500 plus tax and processing fees with whatever. So, but anyway, Jet. So just to let you know, it does on it. You can't change it to 1. Find a friend or go on Facebook or all these crazy Facebook groups. I'm sure you can find somebody if you don't have anybody that wants to do it and check it out, because it's a really, really cool experience. That was cool. And
and we only had the kind of half version where we just went on top of Valraven and we're sent on our merry way. We didn't get all the other stuff.
Yeah, all the other perks and things like that and everything. So, but anyway, speaking of rolling up.
ready to roll.
Or ready to roll. Yeah.
Well, in our show notes, I only wrote Rapterra, but it occurred to me that there's a lot of parks ready to roll this weekend, quite literally. The episode will drop Saturday, March 15th in the morning, right? Yeah, March 15th. So you can be listening to this on your way to opening day of Carowinds. The opening day of Six Flags Over Georgia. Six Flags Over Georgia is also debuting their new ride, Georgia Gold Rusher, which is the the rename of what was supposed to be new for last year, Georgia Surfer, or whatever it was supposed to be called. But they added a lot of cool theming to it, and it actually fits in the area of the park now. It looks really good. But that's ready to roll this weekend. I think there's another park opening too, but I'm thinking of Dollywood. That's not us though. Dollywood's also opening though. And then also quite literally ready to roll next weekend. So before our next episode drops, Rapterra at King's Dominion will be opening to pass holders, and what is their pass holder day? March 21st, or is it the 28th?
I don't know.
When does King's Dominion open? Hold on. I got to check really quick.
No, I was going to say,
I
was going to say, I'm super excited to get these brand new coasters and rides open, and
So
it's cool to hear that, you know.
King's Dominion opens March 29th. They have pass holder preview day March 28th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. They announced that Rapterra it's ready to open. It will be ready for all you, even on pass holder preview night. Nice. And kind of a bit of a surprise, I feel like it only has a 48-inch height requirement. Most wing coasters have been 52 inches, I believe. So that's good news. Yeah. And I also want to mention that they did post their latest, what do they call it, Rapterra report, YouTube video. It talks a lot about the theming of the ride and the jungle hawk, and it shows a lot of really, really cool shots of the ride. I think I've talked about this ride like a ton. So, I mean, obviously y'all know I'm excited about it, but go check out the video. It's really cool. Gives a lot of good, awesome backstory that Cedar Fair, I'm saying Cedar Fair specifically, we'll see about Six Flags, and I'll get into that later. Cedar Fair specifically has been super good about the new theming and all these rides, and Rapterra is no different. But yeah, so as you're listening to this show and our next show, all these parks are opening up. We're, like I said, like a month away from Kings Island opening.
Yeah,
they open Easter weekend. I think there's a couple others between now and then Worlds of Fun opens, and then Cedar Point opens, and we're rolling. So that's my Rapterra and others update. Yeah, there's a lot of just weird random stuff this week. There's no rhyme or reason to what we're talking about.
Yeah, the next few weeks might be some random,
really random stuff, but so, it works.
We're trying, but so I was able to, and I encourage everyone right now, since it's the off season, go visit Sandusky, go check out Cedar Point, at Battery Park. You can look from afar, and you can see the construction going on with Siren's Curse. But obviously the park looks freaking amazing just looking across the bay. But anyway, once you're there in Sandusky, go check out the Merry-Go-Round Museum, because I was actually able to go check that out. There's admission for, I think, just to get into there. I think it's like $12 or $15 or something like that. But it's really cool. You can see like all kinds of different merry-go-round horses and haunted horses, I believe. I thought something I read somewhere where that was.
Aren't all those horses mostly from like old carousels that were at defunct amusement parks and stuff?
I believe so. I didn't get to really look and get like the nitty-gritty on that. But they also,
you were there for another reason, really.
I was there for another reason, yes. But they have a carousel in there to actually ride. So you can actually ride like an actual carousel. And let me just say that this is just a normal carousel, right? Just a normal carousel. This thing goes fast. I was not expecting.
I haven't ridden it in a little while, so I don't really remember it. But
oh my goodness, I was like, dude, I got to ride it with Coaster Bob, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I feel like this is almost the speed of Cedar Downs. Like I was tilting a little. I'm like, all right. So a very thrilling ride. You can see a bunch of the different like animals and whatever that you would see with like a carousel and like an amusement park and stuff. So really cool. Anyway, check that out, but also check out the new Cedar Point historical museum that's inside of the Merry-Go-Round Museum. Oh my goodness. If you want to see like there was a lot of things that there was like flags, there was books, there was old ashtrays from like, I don't know, 1900s, and you're just like, oh my God. And then, there's I think there was like a cable from either Top Thrill Dragster, like a piece of a cable or something. I can't remember which one it was. That was really cool. Is like, and all these giant big display cases where you can just kind of get lost, and you can see like old flags, old posters, a bunch of like different media credential things that were like released throughout the years and stuff for like Top Flow
That
Dragster.
stuff's cool.
They had a bunch of 150th anniversary memorabilia on display. They had 125th anniversary stuff on display. You can see like all the different general managers and signatures and stuff, which was really cool. Postcards, like a ton of different old pictures. You can actually even write it's like a guest book that you can sign and stuff. Like if you worked at Cedar Point, or when you visited Cedar Point, and what was your favorite ride, kind of thing. Really, really, really cool. Definitely go check it out. They have a
Is
bunch
that included with the Carousel Museum?
that is included.
Wow.
Yes. What's really cool is they have a bunch of the wood carver, what's his name, Paul, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of his original carvings and things like that in a giant display case, and boy, did he makes all kinds of fun stuff. He's got like trash cans and horses and just all kinds of stuff.
Scale model, not full.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Not full
yeah,
trash
yeah.
cans.
Fair, yeah, like hand size kind of thing, like little ornaments and stuff.
I remember he used to make like Wildcat cars and log flume. What was the name of our log flume? Whitewater Landing.
Yes.
Replicas and stuff. That I wish they'd had him make more and sold some.
And what's really cool is Cedar Point actually gave them permission to use the actual Cedar Point name, because it's copyrighted and stuff, which is really cool.
Hence why it's not named the Sandusky Famous Amusement Park Museum.
Yeah. But it looks like they just posted their spring hours, so they're closed on Monday and Tuesday, but then they're open Wednesday through Sunday, from Wednesday through Saturday 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then Sunday 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So go check that out. That's until, it looks like those hours are from March 1st until May 25th. But
then they'll probably have summer hours once Memorial Day rolls around.
I would assume so. But yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool to just see and kind of just see what, I guess, in my brain, when I see something like super old and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I remember that back when I was a kid and stuff, it might trigger some memories in your brain and when you see it and stuff. So like I said, it's the off season. You're looking for something to do. And, we're 50 some days away until the park opens officially. And, you can go check that out. So go check out I think it's the Sandusky was it? I think it's called Merry-Go-Round Museum on Facebook.
Let me see what the actual official name is of the place.
You can look up
their website is literally merrygoroundmuseum.org.
Oh, well, there you go.
I type in Sandusky Merry-Go-Round Museum to get yourself there.
Yeah. So huge shout out to that. It was really cool. And
I was at the Merry-Go-Round Museum. Oh my God, it was probably 10 years ago. I don't really remember much. I did ride the carousel though. And did they still have the old that you used to see in the malls everywhere, the little like ride where you could ride Gemini and Blue Streak?
Yes. Yep.
Is it still operating?
No, I believe so. Yeah.
With like the video from like pre-millennium and
yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Where it would blow your hair and
Yeah. That used to be at like every Chuck E. Cheese and every mall, even like outside of Ohio.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what Blue Streak and Gemini is because of that stupid mall ride.
Right. And I'm curious, like I need to go to like, I don't know, a different state or something and be like, oh, and find one of those. Be like, oh, does it have, whoa, it's got Six Flags. What? Like Six Flags.
There used to be one. There used to be a bigger one. I think it was at my local Chuck E. Cheese, I think, that had like Kennywood stuff.
Oh, really? Okay. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to just implement it, but yeah.
Phantom. I think it was Steel Phantom, not Phantom's Revenge, and then like Jackrabbit and Thunderbolt. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's talk about a blast from the past,
right? Yeah, for sure.
So I said we were going super like just random and out of order, but I guess here's your transition. Talking about Cedar Point history. I don't know if we made mention on here, but
did.
Cedar Point, Cedar Fair, it seems, and Six Flags Entertainment in general is like totally like all aboard getting rid of the old ripcord, extreme sky flyer. What are those officially called? Sky coasters.
We have a moment of silence for King Dakar. Just kidding.
Not that. Nobody cares. Oh, that we were trying to figure out which sky coasters got torn out though before the show. That was one of them. Great Adventure got rid of theirs.
Yeah, they did.
But so it's been a trend that those have gone away a lot. So we know that one. Cedar Point, I think, officially announced it through like.
Well, I mean,
Tony put out a statement. I think
someone. Yeah, I think someone,
one of the news agencies.
But then obviously, Winter Chill Out was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, that's not there."
And Kings Island hasn't officially said it, but they're getting rid of theirs literally as we speak. All you got to do is drive by the park to see that. And Canada's Wonderland got rid of theirs, I think, last year or the year before even. So that's I don't know, it's just something to think about, because if you look at those rides, they take up a lot of room. Like a lot of room. And like Kings Island specifically, I think we've talked about what we want to see in the future at Cedar Point and Kings Island specifically, because those are really our home parks. We try to talk about the other parks, but man, like what could that do for Action Zone, or what's left of Action Zone, getting rid of that ride? That's so much room, and I'm sure there's some couple people that were sad, but nobody rode these things. So I mean, like you could put in a whole new themed area just where that ride was.
I think Kings Island was very popular because the teens would always want to ride it and stuff.
Well, and they also like Kings Island also charged like $5 for it.
It's true, yeah. But I mean, I want to say, I thought Tony said something about them being like out of the lease with that or something, and they're like taking their
there was some weird thing that those rides weren't actually owned by the parks, or they weren't. I don't know. They had to get some specific training from the company. There was some weirdness with the way those rides were operated at each of the parks. So anyways, I don't know. I'm kind of happy to see them go finally, for real. They ran their course. That was like a big 90s thing. So those are gone, and I'm happy about it. So anyways, that's to say, like, Carowinds, you still have yours. Kings Dominion still has theirs. I don't know about most of the Six Flags parks. But if you really like those rides and your park still has theirs, definitely get on it soon, I would say, because I really don't think any of them are long for the world. Like, I'm just thinking of Carowinds and how theirs is right next to where they just tore out Nighthawk. That's a big area of land that's available. Right. Kings Dominion, that would open up a lot of land between Twisted Timbers and Grizzly. Like, they're big footprinted rides that don't offer anything. Really. Right. I mean, they're scary, but I don't think they make the park any money. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I was always surprised that Cedar Point would theirs would still be open at like 11 o'clock at night. And it's like, dude, there's like 5 workers standing there making $20 an hour doing nothing.
Right.
Nothing. So, I don't know. I just felt like we needed to mention, like, those are gone.
It was always cool to
say goodbye to all those.
At least I was always scared on them, but I'd still ride them.
Oh, I was too. Absolutely horrified.
I was like, you got to pull, you're pretty much putting your life in your fate, even though you know that it's like super 100% secure and you're not, nothing's going to happen, but you're just like, that doubt clicks in your head. You're just like, am I pulling this, and am I going to die? No.
Mm-hmm. I think the last time I rode it was with you.
Okay. Yeah.
And our friend from Florida. Yeah.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, that was a fun time. But I will say that if you really do love these things, the Fun Spot parks in Orlando and Kissimmee have theirs, and they are like the biggest in the world. So like, go ride the real ones. Get rid of the child's play ones here up north.
Right.
And then we have one more thing that we wanted to talk about, and I think we've kind of talked about this in the past as with the merger and stuff, but we want to point out, I don't know if point out's the right word, but just kind of once again mention, like, the Six Flags Cedar Fair merger has a lot of opportunity to be a good thing, especially for the legacy Six Flags parks, because I don't know if you had any specific things in mind, Carsten, but like, I look at Six Flags over Georgia, And I mentioned Georgia Gold Rusher, right?
Yeah.
They had this like cheap crap ride that they bought off of Intamin that they didn't really think about much. And then this merger happens, and Cedar Fair and Six Flags are like, hey, we're going to take this ride that wasn't really themed, didn't open at all, much less on time. We're going to theme the crap out of it. We're going to make it fit with the area. And like, that adds so much to an area of the park and just the overall feeling of a park, on top of all these Cedar Six Flags parks, Legacy Six Flags parks suddenly have like real executive chefs, and they're redoing restaurants. And Six Flags Over Georgia, again, being one, they hired an executive chef.
Well,
She's
adding
talking
on
about
to
all these new barbecue restaurants and stuff. Like, that's awesome.
adding on to that, they also just a few days ago announced that Six Flags New England is getting an executive chef as well.
Yeah,
and then also for Six Flags
awesome.
Over Texas is also getting an executive chef.
And
like,
that's like, you could just see the new attention to detail with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think food goes a long way to the everyday guest experience. I mean, listeners of this podcast definitely know where I stand on food and going to theme parks. But no, I mean, it helps knowing that I'm not going to go to a park and eat crappy frozen chicken tenders and cold fries. I'm going to eat real good food, and that improves my experience. It makes me want to go back, especially as a pass holder.
Right.
All these parks getting not even just like revamping their places, but getting new places. And I mean, Cedar Point and Kings Island and all these other parks too, they're doing it too, but the attention to Six Flags really doing it. And also just other small park upgrades. Over Georgia, again, they're repainting their drop tower. And
yes.
What was the other thing? Oh, all the Six Flags parks that are getting new rides, they're actually like advertising them instead of just like hiding the fact that they're getting a new ride. They're posting construction updates like they've never done before, instead of just like hiding in the corner until the ride is finally ready in August.
Yeah.
And making no mention of it until then. You know, like I remember Max Force at Great America. Granted, I didn't pay close attention, but it didn't open till July. And there was like really not much talk about it all off season. Whereas even now Six Flags New England is doing like every couple of weeks, they're doing an update video like Cedar Point has been doing for Siren's Curse for Quantum Accelerator. That's a family ride. It's a family coaster, and they're doing all this stuff. And that's just not something that's not accessibility that we've ever seen from the Six Flags parks. And I think that goes a super long way, especially to the enthusiast world.
Yeah, no, I would agree 100%. And then also I was going to say, I know that everyone is sad that some of their rides are getting torn down, or, you know, they're no longer like available to ride and things like that, whatever. But I'm just thinking like, and I'm always a person that just kind of thinks further ahead, and I'm like, okay, so they're getting rid of, you know, I don't know,
King of
no, the Canada's Wonderland. What was the Time Warp, right? They just, I think.
Oh yeah.
So that was, thank God, that was not. Anyway,
it was so bad. I'm upset I missed it. I want to know how bad it was. I wish I had that credit.
So, you know, they got rid of that, but it's like, okay, but they got rid of it, but it's like people aren't understanding. I don't think that all of these parks that are getting rid of all these coasters and things like that, like, I don't think the park is just going to let that land just sit there and just,
they're not just doing it just because they feel like pissing you off.
Like, I think there's a bigger plan, and I think that we just need to give Six Flags at least 3 years or something to say, hey, this was really, really good, or hey, you know what, this really kind of sucks. I know we haven't really experienced a lot of hurt yet from the changes or things of, you know,
we really had a benefit,
so
actually.
I can't honestly say that, you know, I know what that kind of feels like. But if, for instance, like if I don't know, they got rid of Raptor or something, like Cedar Point got rid of Raptor, they're like, you know what, it's ran its course. You know, there's something, you know, we're just, they don't even announce it. They just literally are like, it's going away. We don't have time to announce it. It's going away. Yeah, I would be sad and I would be hurt, but I'd be like
pissed off, but
there's a bigger
picture.
There's a bigger picture, and you're like, okay, So what are they? They're not going to put like a restroom there. They're going to use the land for, development. Maybe it's a dark ride. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm like, we just got to give.
They're not getting rid of Raptor. We got to make sure that that's clear. That was just an example.
But it's just like, you got to just give. It's not even been a year, and people are just, this is a failure. It's not. Yeah. It's like,
I think,
calm down. I understand the frustration, but calm down and just give it some years and see where we end up. Now, if they got rid of the Beast, I mean, yeah, I'd be up in arms too and everything. But like,
yeah, there's a few rides that I think I would have, actually rioted if.
But yeah, you just got to see that.
I think with all this, it's so the two companies came together. They're looking at their portfolio, both of the rides and the parks. Not that we've seen any parks go away or get sold or anything yet. But they want to trim the fat on certain parks so that they can get those parks to another level that they want them to get to.
Yeah.
So that means, and I think King Ka is kind of the unicorn here. That means getting rid of crappy old rides that are maintenance nightmares, nobody rides, and they suck.
I was going to say, to be fair, when I went to go ride King Ka, I was expecting like the queue to be full, and there was like a handful of people over there.
I've never waited in line for King Ka. The ride sucked, and it was a maintenance nightmare. I'm sorry. It was rough. You cannot tell me. I'm sorry. That's a different discussion. All these people that I freaked out about Ka closing.
I mean, it's a bummer. I mean, I would be pissed off and sad if they closed Top Thrill Dragster and they completely got rid of it. But I'm like, you know what? In the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I kind of knew it was going to happen eventually because it's really expensive and it's really like the technology's getting old and
But King Ka, even aside, like Time Warp, who cares? Nighthawk, who cares? Like, really, who honestly cares? They're getting rid of crappy old rides in favor of new, exciting rides and experiences, which it doesn't happen overnight. This is like Carsten, you said, it's the first year. It's the first year. This is such a like, I don't like this figure of speech, but like it applies here. Things get worse before they get better. Right. And Six Flags Great Adventure is a great example. That park's going to feel weird this year. No Ka, no Green Lantern, the parachute drop is gone.
No Sky Ride.
Sky Ride's gone. But the park is saving a ton of money. You still have Nitro. They're still doing a ton of work on El Toro to make sure that ride is good and really smooth and all that. And then next year you're going to have what they've already said will be a record-breaking launch coaster. That's going to be 1, probably more reliable, 2, cheaper to operate, and 3, just a better ride. King Ka wasn't a good ride. Nobody can convince me it was. So just bear with them and look at the little things that they're already doing. Six Flags Over Georgia, I think, is the best example. Painting rides, bunch of new food places, and retheming rides that didn't even need to be rethemed. It was just kind of like that's ugly. Let's retheme it. Like, those are the things that we're going to see. And we've seen across all of Cedar Fair. And now it's going to bleed into parks that we all said were crap before. So just it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Yeah. That's my soapbox.
No, yeah, I would agree with you. And I mean, it's just, what are you going to do? I mean, you can't do anything with it. And, and if one of the parks, they decide to sell off one of the parks and things like that, then hopefully they sell off the park to, like, I don't know, another park chain or something, or Gene Staples. From,
people, I get annoyed, and I know it's just clickbait, but people are like ranking like, these parks are safe. These parks are probably safe. And they're only talking about the theme parks, the big theme parks. When Six Flags Entertainment Corporation is talking about selling off parks, I think they mean like Hurricane Harbor, Rockford. It's like a random crappy water park that Six Flags acquired a few years ago. That's not attached to an amusement park. Those are the places that'll.
It could also be. It could also be like, it doesn't fit our vision, like you said. Like it's like, we could put that into it, but that's like, I don't know, $20 million, and do we really want to do that?
Yeah.
It's like, no, not really, because we're not going to get a crazy good return on our investment. So why don't we just drop the park? I mean,
Yeah. It's not going to be, but people are like, well, Six Flags New England might be. No, they're not going to. No,
right.
they're not getting rid of like their big boys. They're
And
going to get rid of Frontier City, maybe.
I've always said, like, I don't see them ever. And now this is in my opinion, but I don't see them ever wanting to sell a Great Adventure, or I'm sorry. Yeah. Great Adventure, right? No. Great Adventure? No. Michigan's Adventure. There we
There
go.
you go.
Sorry. It's been a day. Yeah, Michigan's Adventure. Like, because I heard that
makes them so much money.
That's what I've heard. And so you've seen them
goes to the water park. It's a cash cow. And there's no operating costs.
The only thing they got to pay is, like, obviously, keeping the water treated and then pumps and things like that. But that's like pennies on a dollar, I believe.
I was there. My only time in Michigan's Adventure was in 2022, 2021 or 2022. It was in summer. It was in June. The weather was garbage. It was like 65, kind of misty. I think I had a hoodie on even.
Yeah.
The water park was still open. And there was a lot more people there than you would expect on a 65-degree day in June. You would think a lot of those people would have said, well, no, it's a crappy Wednesday or Thursday. Why don't we just wait till Saturday when it's 75 and sunny? No, there was people there. It wasn't packed, but these, a lot of people to see, oh, well, they haven't put any new rides in that park in a while, so that one's going to get. No, that's not how this works. And there's a reason they haven't put new rides in those parks, because they don't need them to be profitable. I mean, Valley Fair hasn't got anything new, but it's profitable, or else it wouldn't still be open. They wouldn't run these parks at a complete loss.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, all these parks, they have piggy banks, kind of, if you think about it, and they're just saving up for the next
Iron Menace. I've seen seriously people thinking, well, Dorney Park might get sold. They just built Iron Man. No, they're not going to sell Dorney. Stop.
Well, you know what? Michigan's Adventure, maybe you're going to get a drop coaster.
Yeah.
A dive coaster.
They put so much money into Dorney. They put, I don't know, there's so much money that goes into these parks behind the scenes. Like, I'm sure Valley Fair is getting like a few $1 million in investments in just like, I don't know, like
park beautification
upgrades.
Yeah, park beautification. It might not look sexy to put it on a press release or something, but maybe they're going to get, like, I don't know, 500 brand new trash cans and 1,000 new
light bulbs.
No, I was going to say like 1,000 new benches, park benches or something. I mean, it's not all, so I don't know. It'll be something to watch for sure. It will definitely be something to watch.
And if they do end up selling Valley Fair or Dorney or New England or America, I'll eat my words. But there's a bigger picture here. So let's just wait a couple years and see how things go. Because I really think all of these parks are going to be up to a more of a Kings Dominion, even the crappy Six Flags parks, the worst of the Six Flags parks. You're going to get more of a Kings Dominion, Carowinds, Kings Island experience out of them in a couple years. Just give it a minute. Yeah. But I will admit, Great Adventure is going to be a weird place to be this year. I don't want to go to Six Flags Great Adventure right now. It's just, there's a weird vibe in that park, I think, for
they just had you know what? There's new life. They just had a baby giraffe, I believe.
That's true. That's true. I gotta give, and we're going over time, but I gotta give their social media team credit, because they've been like so blatantly, obviously ignoring the elephant in the room with King Ka, and it's so funny. Like, King Ka got imploded the other day, right?
Yeah,
it was like a week ago. The next day, they're posting on their social media, "Hey, look, we had a baby giraffe." It's like, come on. Like, we all know what you're doing. Stop. And then all the comments are like, "You should name it King Ka."
Oh my God! Right.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
It's too funny.
This is a weird hobby. I don't know what we did to be in it, but it's entertaining, if nothing else.
I mean, yeah, people watching and group watching and Facebook watching sometimes is
Facebook watching.
just watching the just watching the comments. You know, some of the
I
comments.
really
are
think
pretty off
some
the wall.
coaster enthusiasts just don't like amusement parks, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, right. You'd think that they would love their hobby, but I mean, nobody can ever be happy. So
Nobody. Nobody.
I didn't get the 700-foot coaster that
I cannot wait when King of Cos replacement is announced in probably just a few months, because they've already said it's coming in 2026. That I know I could think of like specific people off the top of my head that will immediately not a worthy replacement.
Yep.
The ride hasn't even gone vertical yet. Come on.
Right. Well, I was going to say that's another thing is people that judge a ride before they even judge being able to ride it, because it's like like for instance, Siren's Curse
looks rattly,
or Siren's Curse. It's like I don't know. It looks too small and it looks boring, and I'm like, dude, you don't know what's going on with that.
All these people, they see the stats like not even 60 miles an hour. I'm like, please go ride Let Coaster and then tell me how Siren's Curse is going to be boring.
And then I was like, yeah, so it's not even 60 miles an hour. Like, how in the world would you want to go faster than that? Because you're going to like end up killing somebody, or, just like people just don't think.
Nope. They just
ride the coaster. That's what we're going to do. We're going to come out with a damn shirt that says on the back, ride the coaster first before judging.
Literally. Ding. All right. I'm done complaining. I don't.
All right. People. Well, that was a good episode.
I think next episode might be epic. It might be epic.
It could be epic.
We won't have it. I know we won't have any photos of the epicness. We're not allowed to have photos of the epicness.
No.
We don't know if we're allowed to talk about the epicness.
Yeah, we still don't know about that. But we will possibly have a trip report from a fan from the show, which will be kind of cool, of one of the parks that's going to be opening.
I wouldn't say possibly. I think maybe not next episode, maybe like 2 episodes. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll have a trip report from Carowinds here pretty soon from a fan of the show. So that's super cool.
Yeah.
From somebody that's never been to Carowinds, correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would never advise your first visit to a park being on an opening weekend, but we'll see.
Hey, you know what? I think they've got FOMO. And we were there, Evan. We were there when COVID was going on, and we're like, dude, Carowinds is opening. And literally, I think like half the park was open, and the other park
not even. It was in December of 2020. We were not that we were desperate. We did get Cedar Point that year, but we were bored. We didn't have Winterfest, so you know what we did? We hopped in a car for 8 hours to go ride Copperhead Strike and Afterburn, and I think maybe Ricochet. For 2 straight days, there was no Fury, there was no Intimidator open, and then we drove 8 hours home.
Yep.
Why did we do that?
Because we're true coaster enthusiasts.
We didn't even have a podcast to support at that point.
I know, right? Yeah.
We didn't even need the content. Oh my goodness.
All right, Evan.
Anyways, we'll talk to you when you talk to you.
Yeah, and make sure you share this podcast with all of your friends. And make sure that you rate us. And thanks for listening. And we might be back next week. If not, we'll be back the following week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rundown on Fun. Don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Six Flags Entertainment. And remember, always be kind to your ride operators. See you soon.